Ugh. Okay, so NASA basically said, like, there's a chance that the sun could take out the internet with the solar flares. And like, that's regular and that's normal, but I should have never been told that something like that can happen. Why? Because it's freaking me out. I have what you would say anxiety, and like it's always surrounded by like catastrophes and stuff and apocalyptic stuff. And after I found out about that NASA stuff, like, I can't stop thinking about the end of the world, okay? I can't stop thinking about everything as I know it completely changing. And I don't mean like in a good way, I mean like in a bad way. And so this is just gonna be me expressing how completely terrified of everything I am. Not everything, but of like the end of the world. And like, I'm fascinated by it, but like, I'm terrified of it. Like, I don't know, I really don't know if it's good or bad how I handle this situation. Like, I really don't. I think it's honestly probably just unhealthy. Like, every day I'm just thinking about like, oh, what bad thing is gonna happen? Like my internet has been messing up. The internet has been messing up, so you know, like my like phone connection, so I haven't been able to make calls all the time. Like, I can make calls, but then sometimes I lose like all of my bars and I have to reset my phone to get it back. Like, what do you mean? I have 5G? But yeah, and so like, it stresses me out so badly, because then I'm like, oh, this is the end. This is the end. This is the end. Like, but it's not the end yet. But the end might happen, and it might happen in one of the many ways I've thought of in my brain. And like, sometimes I wish I was one of those like doomsday prepper people. They're crazy and they're insane. But like, would I feel more at peace if I was doomsday prepping? Like I feel like maybe I would. But then it's like, I probably won't. I'll probably still be stressed out and sad and scared for my whole life. Like, I realized like I'm just moving back and forth. It's because me and my sister's beds are on the floor right now. And like, our mattresses are on the floor. We don't got a bed. And my mattress is taller than her mattress. So this is me on her mattress. And this is me on my mattress. And so it's not a good balance. So I'm just in between. But I feel like this is too much space and I don't have nothing to put there. So I'm just in between both. Like, I don't know, look at the window or something. But, or should I like change the camera? I don't know. Let's get back on topic. But yeah, like, I'm just stressed out. So I had a dream last night, and that we have more of like a biblical ending of the world. And I had to get rid of some people. I had to put people down. Like, it has been stressing me out. I really was gonna like, I wanted to like cry when I woke up this morning because of how stressed out I was. Like, I don't know what needs to happen, but the world can't end until I'm gone and off the planet. Like, I don't want to experience it. But like, I do, but I don't. Like since forever, I've just been obsessed with like the concept of zombies and like the zombie apocalypse and stuff. But I feel like for some reason that's easier for me to handle than maybe something like, you know, the end of the internet, or like where it's not scary. I guess because it's not so possible, but at the same time, the biblical like end of the world is also pretty scary to me. So I don't know what I'm really thinking. Like, I really don't know what's going through my head. Like, I don't know. And I feel like I cannot be the only one. And I'm talking about like regular people. I'm not talking about the doomsdayers, okay? If I could, I would be one of them doomsday people, but that's just not me. Because I feel like in my heart, it's like, if it happens, it happens. Like, I'm gonna, you know, like, prepping for the end, I would, but I won't. Like, what am I prepping for? Really? To live longer and to just not vibe? I just want to vibe. I feel like in the zombie apocalypse, I would just vibe until I can't vibe anymore. Okay? Until I'd rather not starve, and I don't want to, like, you know, have severe dehydration, and that's how I go out. But I don't want to get eaten either. But I know, like, that's like how it'll happen. I'm not gonna give up, but I'm not gonna try, you know. Like, I know it's like inhuman, like, maybe this is my inner conflict, because I know, like, humanly, like, humans just want to survive through everything, you know, like, but we adapt with technology, and I feel like I'm not going to be able to become the next doctor. I'm not about to rediscover how to do penicillin or whatever, and I've been really, like, and then the end of, like, the world as I know it has been stressing me out on another level, because, you know, like, in tens of thousands of years, like, I will not exist, right? And the concept of who I am will not exist. And, like, I keep seeing these little nostalgia TikToks, but, like, they're sad, so they've been making me want to cry. And so, like, I'm like, you know, when what ends, like, as we know it, like, the world that I know, when it ends, like, everything that I know right now will not exist anymore. So I'm not talking about, like, you know, hundreds of years in the past. Like, we know basically kind of what was going on with the what, you know, like, the presidents. We knew kind of what they were doing as children in their childhoods or whatever. But I'm talking about, like, ancient civilization. So when we become an ancient civilization, and whatever, like, wipes us out, future historians are not gonna know what I was doing. Like, what it doesn't matter what I could do right now. I could be famous, okay? We don't know none of the famous singers from ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. We don't know who their biggest brightest celebrity was. We don't know. And the reason we don't know is because, like, we don't have any of that stuff. Like, they're gonna have to reinvent the technologies we know now, okay? Like, they're gonna relearn the math we know now, because, like, that, like, the world is gonna end for us. Like, life as we know it, everything we know will end for us somehow. Like, yes, humans have gotten very far by being very, like, diligent or whatever, but you're going to lose something. Like, there's something is going to be lost between now, the end of the world, and the end of the world, the end of modern times, and the beginning of the next, like, generations, right? And because stuff will be lost, like, even if they dig up our phones, or like everything is well preserved, not likely, okay? Like, they would not be able to get into phones immediately. Like, I feel like, you know how they do, like, Mythbusters and all that, to figure out how ancient people did certain things, because it seemed impossible for them to do it, because they automatically assumed that the ancient people were not as smart or as technologically advanced as we are now. Like, yeah, they didn't have technology, but they did still have all of that other stuff, physics and all that. So like, they'll look at us like, oh, these dumb people, they died, like, they don't exist anymore, how stupid. Like, that like, that's how it would kind of be. And so, like, this phone I'm recording this video on now, this video that's gonna go on the internet now, they will not be able to access any of that stuff. All of that will be lost. And the reason it will be lost is because, like, it'll take them, like, thousands of more years to figure out how to remake our technology the way we have made it, to where they can access our information that we have put on the internet. And like, by time I get to that, like half of the things will be just evaporated and gone, just because of how the internet works, you know? It'll be like, boop, like they say everything on the internet lasts forever, but when we don't exist anymore and the internet falls out because nobody's using it anymore, like, then what? Then what? I don't know. And then it's like, would everything be abandoned in that same way? Like, it wasn't abandoned, obviously, but like it just, like, the people were not using it anymore. I don't know how to say it. Like, we don't have no ancient Egyptians to talk to, or Mesopotamians or whatever. We just kind of know what they were doing back then, kind of. Or like the cave people. They leave remnants of that they existed, obviously. And that we will do that. But what will we leave? You know? They're going to go back and they're going to go through all the stuff we leave and interpret all the stuff. And it could be completely wrong. But then it's like, you use like your knowledge as humans and you'll be like, oh, like they'll find like Club Penguin or something on some sort of drive somewhere, and they're gonna be like, oh, this must be like will they know it's a game that children played, or will they find it out as some other sort of communication thing? Like, and like would they even have the same code as we do? Like when they're like coding things, like would Club Penguin be Club Penguin, or would it just come up as code for this thing? And will language even be the same? Right now, like, you know, language is one of the language is one of the most spoken languages. English is like one of the most spoken languages, and then we have Mandarin and Spanish and Hindu and all the languages, you know, they're gonna be wiped out. Like, nobody's gonna know any of these languages we're speaking, okay? And the reason, the same way we don't know like barely any of the ancient languages that were spoken, because nobody speaks them anymore. Nobody speaks them anymore, and they can be written down. You can have it written all out. It takes these people forever to figure out. Like, I'm talking about these people, I'm talking about us. It takes us like years to figure out what letter something is, what these letters could mean, what a word can mean. And that's only after you have to figure out an alphabet, and then you don't even have to figure out the sounds. If you know what the alphabet is, then you can just make up sounds. Honestly, they just make up sounds to go with what the alphabet probably was, and then they make up the words, and then they try to context clue the words and the alphabets with what they kind of know about the ancient civilization. And I don't know how they would be able to do something like that. Like, I know they'll be able to do it, but it's going to take us so long. So even if they could figure out how to get into phones, you know, because that's like the technological part, I feel like that part would be easier than fully understanding the context of like what we have been saying our whole lives, you know. And then because I'm kind of off topic, but like this is what I've been thinking about, and like for some reason it stresses me out that, and I'm just like always thinking about like the end of time, like the end of me. And that is not fun. It's not fun at all. Well, like, it's a little bit fun, okay? I'm not gonna lie. That dream I had last night where I was doing all of that, I don't even know. Like, that dream was crazy. Thinking about it, it's crazy, and it like makes my heart feel like, ugh. But I'm not gonna act like it's not fun. Every single zombie daydream thing I have, I cannot act like they're not a little bit fun and interesting. But also, I just feel like, why can't I have normal like dreams and stuff and like feelings about the whole world? And this has, I don't know. If you think about the world ending a lot, like, how does it end? Does it end like zombie apocalypse, fifth wave, aliens? Because like, I have them all, from Jesus coming down to the sun exploding to everything. Like, I have all of them. But like the most realistic one right now is like the internet going down, and then we basically go into a dark age, and then that'll last for a while because of like the decline that we've had in education, you know. So like the average person, especially after COVID, like even younger people, like we have like a lapse of understanding for, so we are very well versed in like technology, like using the programs given to us that we're taught, but like most kids wouldn't be able to like make a computer, right? And then they also don't 100% understand how slightly older technologies work. Like I kind of do, because I'm like that older Gen Z. So like all the people like early 2000s, and I'm talking about like 2003 to, so that's early 2000. So we have that 2003 as the end mark, up to not the 2000s anymore, but the late 90s. So like those people, 1996, like we have a basic understanding of the technology that came before the technologies we have now, right? And the people older than us, like, you know, they're gonna die out or whatever, but the people younger than us are the ones that would be fighting through and living through that kind of horrific dark age with nothing and having to relearn technology, right? But because we're so well versed in the technology we have now, when that goes out and out of use, technologies that are older, they will also not understand how to use. So like, you know, what is it, telegrams and stuff, they're not going to be able to figure out how to do that stuff over. like it'll take a lot of time before they figure out how to do that, okay? But then, because we're such a technology centered world, like we have books, okay? They can go into the library and read all the books in the world. It's about knowing how to utilize the information given to them, you know, and how to find it in the first place. A lot of people don't even know how to look in a library. They don't know how libraries are organized, and that's very sad. I know how a library is organized. You know why? Because when I had library in elementary school, this was before the library had the little computer database the way it has a computer database now, okay? Like now I can go into the library and be like, what aisle, where, do, right? All from like a phone or computer, and figure out what book I'm looking for. But like if I was looking for like newspaper clippings or something back in the day, I had to know how they used to organize it. So like the library in my school, you know, they have the author's name and then like the years made or whatever, like that type of stuff. Kids don't really understand how to do that. Like if you put me in a library, I can find what I'm looking for, but most kids would not be able to find what they're looking for now. And then it's also about like being able to, you know, do like replicate the information they're taking in. Like I think I could have a little garden. I really think I could garden, okay? But mass producing farm materials and all that, like, and agriculture to feed people, that's more than like 3. That's a little rough. I wouldn't be able to do that. And like fighting the diseases that the plants will get, dealing with famine, properly, like, you know, organize all these things. Yeah, it's hard. Nobody's fit to restart a society at the moment. And that's, like, I feel like I could do it, but I feel like, I don't know. And then, like, it would be like a whole purge scenario, because people are crazy, at least, like, oh, the whole world is crazy. And imagine losing the internet and now everybody is completely disconnected again. Like, the average, like, we would all go in, what is it, Tower of Babylon? That type of thing. Oh, It's so scary. It's actually terrifying, and because of that, I'm gonna end it here. Tell me your scariest end of the world apocalypse scenario, and like why. Because I've explained all of mine, and I've explained kind of why they're scary to me in a general sense. But I need to know what yours are so I can dream about them and have nightmares. Because because it adds like some spice to my life a little bit. And yeah, have a good one.